Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. My name's Teresa and I'm the Carbootcrafter, and I'm coming on because I'm carrying on with my embellishments month. Ideas for embellishments for you to make when you've lost your mojo. So what I do is, if I'm sitting in my craft room and I don't know what else to do, I will make little embellishments like these because they're always handy to have for any of your projects and save having to make them from scratch. So I'll often have them decorated, some often not decorated, because then I can bling them up as much or as little as I need. And these little dresses are fabulous for things like wedding, proms, or even birthday cards. So let me leave that one there and I'll show you what you need. So to make this size, you'll need 4 circles. Well, to make any size, you'll need 4 circles. These ones are 3-inch circles because I'm using my largest punch to do it, but use whatever you've got to hand. In fact, what I'm going to do is show you on this piece to get my fat fingers out the way. And what I did was I used this tin to draw around and then cut out the circle. So yeah, so you'll need 4 circles, and these ones I've already prepped, and I'll show you how to do that on those 2. You'll also need a square of paper as well. It can be matching the circles or it can be different, and what you'll do is the size of your circle is the size you want your squares. So these circles are 3 inches, so my square is 3 inches by 3 inches square. So what I'll do is I'll show you on these 2 how to do the techniques, and then I'll also use these smaller ones so that I can finish off and put it all together. Okay, let's start off with the bodice. That's probably the most intricate one, but it also means that you then have, because it's a freestanding bodice, you have a bodice that you can use on anything else and use different skirts or bling it up in whatever way you want. So all you're going to do with your square of paper is fold it in half, open it out and fold it in half again. Now I am reinforcing these scores, but you don't have to, because they're only there as a guide really to start us off. So once we've got to that stage, so we've got our crease down the middle and our crease that way down the middle, you're then going to, with the open end, that end, and the creases at this end, you're then going to fold your corners in to create a 45-degree angle. So your closed corner there, it's my open end, your closed corner, you're going to fold down that fold mark that we've got in the middle there. So simply bring it down, line it up against that mark, that crease line. You don't want to go over, but you don't want to be too far away. Bring it up as close as you can, and then once you're happy, bring in your bone folder and crease that all the way down like that, and do exactly the same on this side. Again, make sure it's the closed corner, bring it up, line it up with that crease mark like that, and then once you're happy, bring in your bone folder and reinforce that crease mark. So that's all we've done, is created that triangle. Then you're going to flip it over and then this edge here, again you've got your crease mark down the middle. You won't be able to see it unfortunately on this one. Actually, if I bring a pencil mark in, maybe I can do that. Okay, hopefully you can see that a little bit better. There's my crease mark. So I'm going to bring this edge here, I'm going to bring that in and line it up again just to the side of that crease mark. I don't want to go too far over, just going to go to that crease mark, and I want to create a nice point at this end and crease all the way up like that, and do exactly the same this side. So this crease that I've got here, I'm going to bring it over and butt it up against that middle crease line that we're using as our guide, making sure we've got a good point at that end. We don't want to overlap this paper, and then give that a really good crease. We have got about 5 layers of paper, so you want to give that a really good reinforce like that. And once we get to that point, this is now the front of our bodice. What we want to do is to bring this point down and across. So we're just going to bring it down. We want to come from this corner and bring it down and across like that. Take it as far out as you want, or keep it as shallow as you want, which is what I like to do. I don't want to go too far over. Whoops, I don't go too far over, but you can do. You just get a different sort of shape to your neck, and we want this to be, you know, a like nice little decoupage. Okay, so I'm going to pop my nail there so that I can then do the same score on this side. So I want to hold that corner, bring it across all the way up into this corner here. It can be a bit of a battle because, as I said, you've got about 4 layers of paper there, which can be quite a battle to use. Okay, and give that a really good score. And that brings us to that point, and you can see now how the bodice is starting to come together. Then I'm going to hold that with my thumb. You can see now that we have a gap between our layers there, so a little bit of a gap forming there. So I'm just going to put the point of my bone folder in there and twist it, open that up a little bit, and then I'm going to pop my finger in and flatten it down a little bit like that, and we're creating a sort of a kite shape here, or an off-center diamond shape. Okay, so you can see that shape there that we've just created. I'm going to do exactly the same on this side. So straight away, hopefully you can see there's a little bit of a gap there. So I'm going to pop my bone folder in, give it a bit of a twist to open it all the way up. I'm going to pop it down, pop my finger in and push down. I'm pushing down on there like that, and then I'm pushing down with my other finger on here, and we're starting to create a nice sort of diamond-esque shape like that. And that is our bodice finished. What you can do if you want is grab some glue and pop that in there, and it just holds it all together, both sides like that. Doesn't matter how much. I also pop a little bit in here as well to hold that bit down, and there to hold that bit down, and then I'll pop it under something heavy till the glue has taken. Right, I'm going to do it really quickly on this piece once again. So I'm folding it in half, opening it up, folding it in half, bringing this close, so this is my open end, bringing this corner down and creating that fold like that. Then I'm going to do the same on this side, the closed side again, bring it down and create a fold there like that. Then I'm going to flip it over like that, and this corner, I'm going to bring in, lining it up again with that middle center crease mark. Push down. It's much fiddlier with the smaller ones, and as you can see, my fat fingers get in the way sometimes with these smaller ones, which is why I wanted to do it on the large one first. So bring that up, and we're sort of creating a kite shape like that. Then we're going to bring these points down like that and reinforce that. If you're practicing this for the first time, I would go with a 6x6 size to start off with, or something like that, because this is very, very fiddly. Although it's simple, it's very fiddly, so try it with a larger piece first. Then once you get to that point, we've got that little bit that opens up like that. So I'm just going to pop my bone folder in there, and then I'm going to, can't get my finger in, but I'll pop the top of my nail in and push it down, and we create that triangular kite shape. And then the same on this side. We're starting to see it open up there, so I'm going to pop my point of my bone folder in there, and then I can pop my top of my nail in, and then we get our bodice. And again, a little bit of glue in there and there, just to hold it in place, and pop it under something heavy to get till that glue takes. Okay, now with the skirt, so to create this look, you're going to take your circle and you're going to fold it in half again, same as we did with the square, but you're not going to reinforce this because we're not keeping those, we're only using these as a guide. So fold it in half and then fold it in half again, lining up all those edges like that. And again, don't use your bone folder, just use your fingers to fold it. Okay, once you've got to that stage, so we folded it, our circle, we folded in half and half again, so we've got a quarter wedge like that. Pop it down, pop your finger there, and then just this top piece we're going to roll back, and what we want to do is create a crease from this corner here, all the way across to this corner here. You can use something like, it's a very flat ruler, you can use something like a ruler to line it up and bring it back on itself, if that helps. You are going to use your bone folder for this to reinforce that, because we're going to keep these. So once you've done that side, you're then going to flip it over and do the same on the other side. So if you haven't got a ruler, or you don't want to, it doesn't matter, pull this and roll it back so that it get a nice corner at that end, and then a nice corner at this end. If it's not all the way to the corner, it's not the end of the world, it will still work. And crease it down like that. Once you've got to that stage, you're going to open it up again like that, and then just fold it back on itself like that. So you've got those two that we've just created there. Pop it over, and then this edge here we're going to line up with this crease here. So just bring it across, line it up. I'm going to grab my pencil again so you can see where I'm heading to. Okay, so you're going to bring that across, keeping that corner, that a nice sharp point, and you're going to line it up on that crease mark like that. Okay, and use your finger, crease it all down, then bring your bone folder in. So that's one side. Then you're going to do the same on this side, again using that crease mark that we've got there. We're going to bring that in, line it up, buff it right up to this one like that, and grab your bone folder and reinforce that. Okay, and you're going to do that 4 times with your circles, and you end up with them looking like this. 2, 3, and I've one more to do, which I'll do really quickly. So fold it in half, only finger fold it into quarters, line up all those edges and finger fold. Then either using a ruler, going from that corner to that corner, you can roll that back on itself, and then grab your bone folder and reinforce that. Or the method I prefer, just hold it down with one finger, roll that top piece, we don't need those other 2 to be folded, just that top one, go from one corner across to the other, rolling it very carefully. Then once you're happy, bring your bone folder in, open it out, and then fold it in half, and then bring that crease to meet that center crease like that, making that a nice sharp point at the top, and do exactly the same on the other side. So there's our crease. I'm just going to bring it in, line it up, buff it up with that one. So I've now got 4 of these. Okay, and I've got my bodice, which is dry. So I'm bringing in my glue. Now have a play with this. I'll show you the way I usually do it. I don't always do it this way, but you can have a play with slotting these together. All you need to do is make sure that you can keep that point going, so you can join them like that. You could have a nice one with the 3 circles, but the way I do it when I use 4 is I hold one down, and this little flap here I'm going to put a line of glue, and once I've done that, I'm just going to open that up so you can see a little easier. I'm going to bring this one in, fold that across so it's out of the way, and I'm going to line this edge, this crease here, with this crease here, and just lay it down, making sure I've got a nice sharp point. I always like to use my bone folder to reinforce that, push that glue into my papers, bring that one back across like that, and open that out again. Once I've done that, I'm going to carry on doing it. So I'll bring that one out the way so you can see. I wouldn't normally bring that out the way, but it just makes it easier for you to see what I'm doing. I'm going to put a bit of glue on that flap there, like that. I'm going to fold that across out of my way, and I'm then going to line that crease mark up with that crease there, making sure I've got a nice sharp point at the top, and again using my bone folder to push the glue into that paper. Using wet glue, you've got a couple of seconds just to make sure everything's at the same, you know, you're happy with the placement. Again, glue on that one side, bring that in. I always do fold that one out the way because I don't want to glue it, and I can see my edges so much better like that. And I'm going to open it out and use my bone folder just to reinforce that with all of them. Now when you get to this point, you've got a choice. You can then come back in and glue in there if you want, but I quite like the movement of the skirt, and after a while, as you can see, it does lie quite flat once it's all been glued down and left for a while. Okay, so once you've got your skirt made, you're then going to bring your bodice back in. Now you can either have it over the top like that. I prefer it underneath, so I'm going to pop a little spot of glue on my bodice like that, and that then will go underneath the skirt. Let's make sure that's quite level, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop my punch on top, and that will hold it for a minute. I always use a little bit of washi tape. Now this is about 1/4 inch wide. It's slightly wider than some of the others that you can get, but feel free to use whatever you want, but I'm going to use this one. So if I can find the end of it, which, because I've got the camera on, is going to take me forever, isn't it? Of course it is. Is that the end? Yes, there we go. And I'm just going to cut myself a piece of this washi like that, and this then I'm going to use as the waistband, but also it helps to hold the two pieces of the dress together, especially while it's drying. So take my punch off, and I'm just going to lay my washi tape across the front like that. It hides all of the joins on the dress to the bodice as well, as you can see. Okay, so once I've got it on there like that, I'm then just going to, oh, I've made the mistake of sticking it to my my board. I'm then going to flip it over, and I'm going to bring this side in and across. So I've got it going across the back of my bodice, and the same with this one, and onto the back of the dress. So you can see it holds the dress in place, and if I just bring it round, I can just pinch it all together like that, and you can see it just holds it all together while the glue is drying. I always give it a couple of minutes or a couple of seconds under something heavy like the punch before doing this, but then that will then hold it all together. And there is another little dress I'm going to pop, oops, I'm going to pop in my embellishment box once it's dry. So I hope you're enjoying this series. I'm going to create a little file called embellishments, and I'm going to pop all my embellishments into that. So if you want to go and have a look at any of my other videos, including some going back a few years, then do check them out. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video and see what we're doing next. Okay, take care. Bye for now.